so it's me, Kelly, with Kellyton and Consulting, and today I'm here talking about the role that communication plays in employee engagement. Employee engagement is huge. I was looking at some stats the other day, and something like 25% of employees don't feel like their role is managed in a way that allows them to do good work. And so that really leaves us with 75% roughly of employees that feel that their work could be managed a little bit better. One of those pieces is the piece of communication and the role that communication plays in employee engagement. Communication is huge. Communication is, as we know, not just verbal, but in the way that we, obviously, with the way that we say things, but our facial expressions, our body language, etc. A long time ago, I once had a client tell me, they said, you don't like this, do you? And I said, well, what makes you say that? And they said, I can tell by the look on your face. So needless to say, my face a lot of times tells a story, although I've been trying to work on that. But again, just one of those nonverbal cues that people can pick up on. So the role that communication plays in employee engagement, the two big things that really come to my mind and that really stick out for me is that element of psychological safety. So psychological safety sounds like a big, scary word, and in fact, it's not. It really just means the ability to speak openly, to make mistakes without repercussion. I'm not saying that we're freely making mistakes with no pivot into trying to correct that behavior. So let me give you an example. So let me back up. So the role of psychological safety, or the word psychological safety, isn't a new term, but it's something that's been studied a lot by Amy Edmondson, who is the author of a book called Teaming, which I happen to have read, and I really enjoyed the book. Although it was a hard read, it had a lot of really good information. And so Amy Edmondson, who's a Harvard professor, has really studied this concept of psychological safety rather extensively. Brene Brown has also talked about it in some regard in the aspect of vulnerability, things of that nature. So Amy talks about several case studies in the book. One of them she talks about is one of the space shuttles. And one of the engineers had noticed that one of the rings on the shuttle, there was something wrong with one of the rings on the shuttle. He had expressed this concern to several other engineers, but it never really made its way up the chain. And so, well, we know tragically what happened to that shuttle. The gentleman was interviewed for one of the news stations. I don't remember which one. It might have been like 60 Minutes or something like that. And basically what he was saying is he didn't really have the authority or the safety in being able to speak up to upper management and to say that this is what he thought the problem was and how to fix it. That's an extreme example, obviously, but that is the culture that not having a safe environment to speak up can really breed. Communication and how it plays with employee engagement in the workplace, having that environment that is a space where people can talk about their needs, talk about their challenges, and they can really openly express those needs to their manager, to their teammates. It's really important because it helps build that community of practice, but it also helps to find solutions in a proactive manner. It allows us to really challenge our thinking as well. It allows us to think about things differently and to have solutions proposed to us differently, and therefore really helps to engage the entire team in the process. It really helps to enrich the morale and the experience that each team member has. And so psychological safety is really important. I think that that's really key in those workplace relationships. The other one I wanted to talk about, something that was top of mind for me, is transparency. Now, when I talk about transparency, I don't mean, hey, let's just lay it all on the table, because obviously there are parameters and boundaries of which we can and cannot do that. But transparency, when I talk about that in the workplace, I talk about having that open line of communication where we let people know what's going on with their role and situations that may impact somebody within the organization. I think transparency helps keep that psychological safety aspect thriving, but it also helps people feel safe and comfortable, and it also helps people feel secure in their position. And it also may foster new ideas. Somebody may have a suggestion or may have some thought about something that can really contribute to a proactive end result. So transparency in the workplace is something else that really comes to mind for me when we think about communication and employee engagement. So with that, I would love to hear from you. Tell me what you think is important or how communication plays a role in employee engagement at your workplace. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to my blog. I would love to keep in touch with you, and you can visit me on my website, kellytinnen.com, or of course, follow me on social media. I look forward to seeing you soon.